Well, hello guys and welcome back. This is day one of isolation. I am working from home today, which is very unusual. As you guys know, I started a new job over 10 days ago and I'm getting on so well. I absolutely love my job. I am in my element working there. It's so amazing. But we were recommended by our superiors above not to be in work today because obviously the government have release statements that they don't want people working if they can work from home. So I can work from home and that's what I'm doing. I'm actually doing a little bit of YouTube at the moment because I'm just checking emails and stuff, and then I'm trying to work doing my other job and then obviously doing lots of bits of YouTube in between. So I just thought this would be the perfect opportunity to vlog. I'm going to sit down here actually in the mess that is my bed because there's makeup everywhere. The story here in Ireland at present is pubs are closed, restaurants are closed, planes have started to become grounded. They're only flying to countries where you're allowed to enter, and it's mostly to return people to their countries, their homes, to bring people home. People are working from home, more people are getting remote access, schools are off, colleges, universities. That was kind of the first thing that they stopped. St. Patrick's Day was quite weird here because nowhere was open. And it's the first St. Patrick's Day. I just kind of felt a bit, oh my god, like no one's out celebrating and stuff. But people were doing it from home and things like that, and they were putting up videos and it was all over the news, like all the things that everyone was doing to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So that was quite nice that we're all like coming together even though we're not together. You're allowed obviously outside and to go to like parks and to go to the lakes, or if you want to go to the beach, or if you want to go to any outdoor walks or forest walks, you're obviously allowed to do that. We're just recommended to keep social distance. So that is, I think, 2 meters or 6.5 foot, something like that, between people. So even if you're walking on the path and there's someone else near you, you have to keep your distance from them. So it's quite crazy. It's a crazy time, guys. Obviously, as you know, I started my job last week and I'm off at the moment because I'm working for the government. It's great because I'm still able to work from home, but there's just things I have limited access to, which is kind of annoying. But I am talking to other work colleagues and my boss as well to keep me up to date with everything that's going on, and if I have any issues I obviously will go to him. So the government have recommended most employers to let their staff go home. Obviously, like, the hospitals are inundated, but it's amazing because there's 24,000 people coming out of either retirement, coming home from different countries, or students that are helping, nurses and doctor students that are helping out with this crisis. So it is amazing to see everybody pulling together, but it's just so scary and uncertain. And the worst thing was my sister. So if you're following me on Twitter, then you'll know this already. If you're not, I'll leave my Twitter down below. But my sister was stranded in Bali. A couple of things happened that caused this, but the first thing was she was out traveling, and if you guys know, she went traveling in February. This virus was not even on our lips. We hadn't really known too much about it. All we knew was there was a couple of cases of it in China. We didn't know anything about Italy at this stage, nothing like that. So it was quite far away problem that we weren't having to deal with, and we didn't know obviously the severity of it. So my sister had a plan to go traveling. She was going for 5 weeks, gonna go with a group, and everything was looked after fine. She got to Thailand, everything was fine. She had her trip in Thailand, that was great. Once that came to an end, she was going on to Vietnam. Now, there was nothing going on in Vietnam, so she was like, why am I going into Vietnam? I can't do anything. They'd kind of done what we've done here, closed down like major events, and we can't have more than 100 people indoors at any one time. So that is kind of affected, like, obviously our social aspect, and that was the same in Vietnam. So she was like, what's the point of staying in Vietnam to get my flight on the 29th when I can't do anything there? I may as well go to Bali, spend time there, and then get my flight home from Vietnam. But things have changed so quickly. So when the schools closed here, we all were like, okay, Ollie, I think it's time to come home. Things are kind of getting a bit crazy, and it's best that you're back in Ireland. I think she was only like 2 days maybe, or 3 days in Bali, and that's when the issues occurred. She went to try and get a flight from Bali to Vietnam and couldn't do it, and went to the desk. They're like, no, sorry ma'am, no flights to Vietnam today. And she was like, what? Didn't give her any alternative. Obviously you're responsible for your own flights, I understand that, but they didn't offer her, a different flight. Here, we'll fly you to such and such a country or wherever. They just didn't help her at all. And when it happened, it was the early hours of the morning here, and we were all panicking. It was like 4 in the morning. I had to ring the Irish embassy here in Ireland, which I cannot commend enough. They are fabulous. They've done so much work and they've been so helpful to my sister, and I cannot thank them enough, and Emirates as well. So what they recommended in our embassy here in Ireland in Dublin was for my sister Ollie to get to the Middle East in any way, shape or form that she could do that. So she queued in Emirates in Bali airport for something like 7.5 hours or 8 hours, and eventually got to the top. Now bearing in mind, the airport is mega busy because people from India couldn't get back to their country. There's a lot of people stranded from France and Spain that couldn't get back to their country. There's people stranded from America, South Americans there. She, like, literally every single country was in Bali airport trying to get out. So that's why the queue was so long. Eventually she got served. The Emirates rerouted her flight that was initially to go to Vietnam. They rerouted it to Jakarta. I can't say that. Tried to say it about a million times. Still in Indonesia, and she went there. It's the capital of Indonesia, and there's also an Irish embassy there. There's none in Bali, so the closest Irish embassy was there. So it was great, just in case she didn't get home if she was in Jakarta, that there's an embassy there to help her. And the embassy here in Ireland were texting her constantly, and they were saying if there's any problems, let us know. We'll try and get, you know, somewhere for you to stay. If you need to stay, you can stay. We can organize that through the embassy. So they were fantastic. I cannot commend them enough. The Irish embassy were just incredible, and Emirates were just amazing. So as of this morning, I think it's been like 36 hours she's been trying to get home. She has gotten a flight to Jakarta, and that flight was 2 hours, and she's just left Jakarta now on the way to Dubai, so she's on the way home. We are all so excited. She's a 15-hour layover in Dubai, but it's not a big issue because you can stay in a hotel or something. There's ones in the airport. You cannot leave the airport. You can't leave and go into Dubai at all. They're just, you're not allowed to do that. It's gone crazy. I don't blame any of the countries, obviously. They're just trying to do the best thing that they can, but the fact that Ireland is looking after our Irish citizens even when they're far away is just incredible. And during this time, like, it's just so great. So it's brilliant that she's getting home. Gonna be home with us, I think, on Friday after trying to get home for nearly a week. I can't imagine how stressed she is, because I'm stressed here thinking about her trying to get home. I broke down in work yesterday. I just couldn't handle it. I was just so upset over the whole thing of her trying to get home, and worried about her not being able to get home because there was a French guy in the airport with her and he just cannot get home. I don't know if it's because of money or what the issue was, but he just can't get home and he has to stay in Bali. And every single like positive thing that comes out of this, I'm like, great, that's brilliant, great, we're getting a bit closer to normality with every change that comes about, because the more that we isolate ourselves, the more the planes are grounded, the more the people can't travel, the safer it's going to become in our own countries, and the less this virus is going to spread. And it's just great. So I obviously am keeping up to date with like the HSE website, and so is my sister and my family, and we're all just kind of taking the orders of what they say and listening to our government. And our Taoiseach's been fabulous. Like, everybody's like pulling together. Obviously this is awful sad, like there's people passing away from it, and it's just so strange. Like, the whole thing is bizarre. I've never felt anything like it. Obviously we've never been through anything like this, so we don't know what to expect. But it's just great that, you know, our works are allowing us to work from home, and the government are helping anybody who needs payments and stuff like that. So they are doing that. The banks have now frozen mortgages for 3 months if anybody needs it, so that we are trying to help each other as much as we can, which is great to see. Like, it is really, really nice to see. It's just in such a bizarre time that this is all happening. But anyway, that's what's going on my end. What is going on your end? Like, what's happening in your country? I'm keeping up to date with it as much as I can on the news. I'm trying to like keep informed by reputable sources. There has been an inundation of like unreputable, unreliable sources and things coming out and panicking people unnecessarily. So if you are looking for information, try and look from a reliable source as best as you can. I just thought I would update you guys and just drop in and just give you a little video. It's not really a vlog, it's just kind of like an update of where I'm at in my country, and I kind of want to know how you guys are getting on in your country. And I hope that you're all washing your hands loads, using sanitizer, keeping your social distance, trying not to use public transport if you can avoid it, trying to listen to everything the government say. Because I was talking to a follower of mine yesterday on Twitter, and she was saying that people are still coming into her store. She must work in like a department store or a supermarket, and their kids are running around. You're not supposed to have children in those areas because they're off the schools for a reason. We are allowed, like I said, go to the parks, and we are allowed to go out for walks along the lakes and stuff like that, and along the sea. We can go to the beach. So there is still things to do without interacting with other people. I don't know what's going to come in the future. I really don't know. So we're just trying to take it day by day. Like, there's been major changes, like our lives have been changed dramatically in every way, shape or form, and I'm still able to visit my boyfriend, which I'm kind of grateful for at the moment now. So I'm going from my house, my car, to his house, my car, my house. That's it. My dad has to leave because of his job. Like, he has to work. He's working in this. He's on in the healthcare system, but he's on a different end of it, and he's in the middle of it, and he has to go to work. My dad has just taken extra precautions. He's washing his hands loads and obviously using sanitizer and stuff because he's the only person now from the outside coming into the house. My sister's going to be quarantined as well. We're not actually fully certain of what way she's going to be quarantined when she gets back to Ireland. We just know that she can't leave, can't go to supermarkets, can't leave the house. So we're going to have to try and figure that all out. And then in the next couple of weeks, elderly people are going to be cocooned. That's what they're saying, that they're going to try and keep the elderly and the vulnerable at home, and then anybody else can, belonging to them, loved ones, can try and get groceries to them and stuff like that, but not to be visiting them. We're also Skyping my nanny because I can't go down to see my nanny or my granddad, so we're Skyping them, which is great because I still get to talk to them. But it's just, it's really uncertain, and it's kind of sad and everything that's going on. I just hope you're looking after your loved ones and looking after yourself, and we'll all be looking back on it going, oh my god, you remember when that was going on? And hopefully we'll be looking back on it soon. Paddy and his brothers are all working from home as well. It's just crazy, like, how much has like changed from all going to work and public transport to now, like, there's barely anybody on the streets. But again, there is still people that won't abide by the rules, but just try and do that. Anyway, I've nothing more kind of to catch us up on. I just thought I would drop in really quickly. I have more vlogs coming for you that are a bit more interesting, but they're obviously from the past. So just in case you're watching them and been like, oh, what? I didn't get time to edit them with work, so I'm going to do that today, whilst keeping an eye on my emails and doing my other work as much as I can. So guys, I hope you're keeping safe, keep washing those hands, keep sanitizing the hands, and mind each other, and Skype and talk and do whatever you can and entertain yourself as best as you can, and this will all be over soon. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.